The most common way, or the most simple way of ending a while true loop is to put a condition there where it will eventually become false. So this one says, while x is less than 4, print it's still true, and then here we have an increment again, x plus equals 1, which means take whatever's in x, add 1 to it. So this loop will stop running when x is not less than 4 anymore. So how many times, here's a question for you, how many times will it print the line, it's still true? Keeping in mind, x starts at 1. So look at it for a second, trace how that code is going to run. How many times? How many times? Yes.
Twice.
Twice? How many say twice? How many say 3? Okay. Let's put this to the test here. So I'm going to put x equals 1. And I'm going to say when x is less than 4, we're going to print still true. Okay. That's the same thing. So I'm going to run it. Prints it 3 times, right? So here, let's trace this program, right? Now what I can do here is I'm going to put a breakpoint in. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction to debugging. Debugging is something that PyCharm does for us that helps us as developers. I'm going to give you a quick little side quest here, and I'm just going to introduce the debugger. We'll come back and I'll add to this knowledge later. But if I click over here by the number, see how it puts that red dot there? That's called a breakpoint. And what that does when I'm in debugging mode, not when I'm just running the program. See, if I run this just normally, it just runs. It ignores that breakpoint. But if I go into the debugger, it will run the program, and every time it comes to a breakpoint in my code, it will pause and wait for me to tell it to continue. And the usefulness of that is that I can pause my program right where it's running and see what's happening in that program. So I'm gonna run the debugger here, and I'm gonna show you. There it is. Okay, so it's started running now. So it's started running, and I can see here now that it's paused, and I can see what the value of my variables here. Now, I know this is really tiny text. You can't see it on my screen, but right here it says x is an integer that has a value of 1. So right here, x is equal to 1. If I step forward, okay, look what happens up here. It's telling me x has a value of 2 now. So it's telling me what the value is. So it's printed it. This is the second time it's going to print it. And there's the third time it's going to print it. And now it ends because when it gets to here, it says x is equal to 4. X is no longer less than 4, so that's not true anymore. It's false. So it skips this whole block of code, including the breakpoint. Notice it didn't stop at the breakpoint after x was equal to 3, because that next time x is equal to 4, and it skips it. So this is something that's really valuable because it shows, as it's running, what the value of different variables is in your code. It allows you to see what's going on and try to figure out what's going wrong if something's going wrong with your code. So that's a brief introduction to the debugger. I just wanted to show it to you because we'll talk about it more as we go through the class. So looping, yes?
I actually had a question on this code. So, like, you got the x plus equals 1.
Mm-hmm.
Would it make a difference if you go x equals x plus 1? I know the same thing.
It's the same thing. It has the same effect, no difference whatsoever, except that you have to type more. This is just a shortcut for that. So he's asking, for those of us that need to see it, if I say x equals x plus 1, that means the same thing, just a little bit more typing. So that's that's another way you can do that. Now, if I want to, I don't have to have 1 here. I can count by 2s, I can count by 4s, I can count by any increment that I want. So if I wanted to just print out, let's say all the numbers between x, let's say less than or equal to 100, if I wanted to print out all the multiples of 3, no, let's go 7. If I wanted to print out all the multiples of 7 between 0 and 100, right, I can do that just like that. Now it counts by 7s. So those shortcuts become very useful, and loops are very useful for figuring out things like that. Yes.
And then on the model, I see that we have the brackets around it are the.
Mm-hmm. Those are optional, just like the if. Okay. Yeah, I can do this. I like to have the parentheses there. Like I said, it helps me sort of like visualize this is the thing that should be true or false, but they're not necessary in Python. As you move to other languages, C++, Java, JavaScript, all of those languages require them. So there's no harm in just getting in the habit of using those to encapsulate your expression. But if you leave them off, it's not going to bark at you either. And I won't either for that.